Every night, I used to count touchdowns, now I count bodies, and it's so sad.
Practical measures, enforce the laws that are on the books, and that is loving people.
I realized that in many ways, their world is much more beautiful than mine.
Get Gordon and get it done.
Good morning. My name is Gordon McKernan, and welcome to another edition of the Garage Podcast. And I have the distinct privilege and honor of welcoming our mayor of our great city, Baton Rouge, Mayor Sid Edwards, to the set. Welcome, Mayor.
Man, I am honored to be here with you. This is awesome. I'm in the garage. I have finally made it.
That's right. So this building, which is here on Constitution Avenue, right by Ruth Chris Steakhouse, it houses our call center, right? And we have an attorney and a call center here with 20-something intake operators who are answering calls from all over the state for us. And the space that we're in was actually a garage. And you see these big windows right here. Those are garage doors, and we pulled them out and put in these windows. But we got the idea, why wouldn't you create a podcast studio? And you can do more than podcasts. You can do commercials, you can do recordings for the community, for the greater Baton Rouge community, where any aspiring talent or any person who has a voice and they want to say something, as long as it's not profane or something like that, they could come to this place. We film it, we produce it, we do everything, record, edit it, whatever they want. We give them back a link that they can upload to whatever site. And it's just goodwill back to the community. So I'm glad that you are our first political leader here to do that. So give me your thoughts of this.
Thank you. First off, it's a blessing for the community to have this resource. You know, a lot of people don't have this opportunity. You know, it's usually filmed through a cell phone, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
But for you to do this, and thank you for everything you do for our community. But this is just yet another layer, another vision for the people of Baton Rouge and abroad. So I think it's beautiful, and I just think it is absolutely tremendous.
Right. Brandon, what's our website?
GarageStudio.com.
GarageStudio.com. And any viewer out there, go ahead and look, and you'll see we have, this is our main set. What do we call this, Brandon? The living room set, or something like that?
Yeah. It's just the nice chill, just you feel relaxed at home.
Right. And over your shoulder, we have another one, kind of more like a coffee table, a round table set, our breakfast table there. We have high chairs right there if people want to do that. We have also what we call the anchor person studio. You have a desk with a TV monitor behind it, kind of Joe Rogan style, if that's what you want. And then lastly, we have a cyclorama wall over there where you can do all sorts of things, and a green screen. So we have many options for people. And, you know, perhaps, Mayor, if you decide that you want to do a routine podcast, or there's something you want to get out to the community, you know, every quarter or something, you welcome to come here. And what we call it, Sid's shout out, or Sid's, what's a good analogy there, folks?
Sidelines with Sid.
Sidelines with Sid, right? See it right there. As a coach, I get it. Sidelines with Sid, and you come in here, and you know we'll do everything for you, and we'll put it out on your social media.
Sign me up.
I'd love to do that.
I'm comfortable here. I like it.
So you have an interesting story and an interesting journey, right? I mean, if you look back at your life and what you did, and we're going to talk more about that, you wouldn't think that the coach, you've been at many places, Menard and Redemptorist and all these other places, would decide one day I'm going to wake up and run for mayor with no political experience.
What was I thinking?
That's what I want to ask you. What were you? Obviously you won, so you were thinking something good, but what were you thinking?
Well, I can tell you, I coached in Central for 17 years in my 40-year career. And I was approached way back when about running for mayor, and I absolutely laughed out loud at the notion. You know, when you win football games in a small town, you're popular, and we mostly did while I was there. But I laughed that off. Well, then I moved to Baton Rouge in 2016. I was living out in the community, and I hit my wife one night. I said, you know, that mayor deal might not be a bad idea one day.
Right.
And she said, well, Sid, you can't live in Baton Rouge and be the mayor in Central. I said, well, no, I'm maybe Baton Rouge. So it's just we were just kind of laughing. But I'm going to tell you, Mr. McKernan, I took a job at Estruma High School, which is in the roughest part of our parish.
Yep.
And God's blessed me in my career, and I wanted to give back more deeply. Okay. It was that job that led me to running for mayor.
Right.
I got in there and I saw that part of the parish. I call it the forgotten part of the parish. Mm-hmm. I don't feel it had been tended to or loved upon in many, many years. One of my players was murdered on the streets of North Baton Rouge. And I just got to thinking, and so the story of how I ran, I qualified at the last minute on the last day, because as I was writing to qualify, I wasn't sure I wanted to run or not.
Right.
But somehow, through the hand of God, I pulled up to City Hall and went in and put in the papers. I won't say, even though I'm a coach and I'm competitive, not really anticipating winning,
right,
but for my voice to be heard. And then we get in this deal, and my big deal was to make a difference in our parish, in particular in Baton Rouge. And then it grew legs. Yeah. I came out of the gate, I think, in third place of 8. And then, we made the runoff, and then bam, here I am.
There you are.
So it was to make a difference in Baton Rouge. I've never been political. Quite honestly, I hadn't voted in 8 years on purpose. I had gotten, I admit it, I had gotten very apolitical.
Right.
Was tired of the lies and the BS, and just never paid attention. And now I'm the mayor.
Well, that's understandable. I think there's a lot of voter apathy out there, both nationally and locally, and that's quite understandable. It's interesting when you say that you qualify at the last second, because a lot of times it's a political strategy.
Right.
But what I'm hearing you say is that was more of a God-directed thing, and my strategist didn't tell me wait to the last second, surprise them.
Right.
No, it was God tapping on your heart and saying, okay, it's time to serve.
It absolutely was, because my boys at the Stroomer were in the weight room. Mm-hmm. And I run the weight room, and I borrowed a suit, because I don't wear suits. I borrowed a suit, and I had my gym clothes in the truck.
Right.
And it was storming, raining, and I was praying all the way to City Hall. Am I going to go left to City Hall? Am I going to go right to the weight room?
Wow.
And I passed up City Hall and said, forget this. I'm going to the weight room. But then something just tugged on me. I made the block, and there was a parking spot. Parking downtown.
Oh, yeah.
It's hectic, right?
It is not the easiest.
There was a spot right in front of City Hall.
Really?
I pulled in. It quit raining.
Yeah. So my wife's sister, Brittany Leak, she would say that's a God thing.
It is.
These little moments in time where a parking space opens up or something happens, and sometimes you can overread God into things, and sometimes you can underread God into things. But it seems apropos that left, right, and a parking space opens, that maybe that was a sign for you.
I know it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm thankful. I know as many of the residents are as well. And it's interesting, and when you start to analyze the field and people start going, hey, would you give money for the mayor's race? And, I knew the former mayor. And, when you popped on the scene, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. How does a white Republican male win in this type of race? Most people didn't believe it could be done. When you look at the demographic lines that we have, just the Republican versus Democrat, black versus white, and you touch something different than the others. And in listening to you talk, and your heart and your compassion for North Baton Rouge, and when we use that figuratively, but it basically means to me the people of our community who need help, who are struggle a little bit more day to day. In North Baton Rouge, you got Gardier, that area, so it's different, but that's where your heart immediately went.
It is. I'm certainly the mayor president for the whole parish.
Correct.
But it is amazing if you go travel from the north side to the south side of town. It's hard to believe we're one Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
I made that ride yesterday, and it's mesmerizing. I wish there was a way I could show all the citizens how the other half lives on either side.
Yeah.
Because it's vastly different, and it's where the greatest need is. It's where it's the highest rate of violent crime. We have everything, issues from early childhood education and the lack of resources over there to what they're going to eat. You take my team. you go back to the days when I grew up, when I was in high school or in junior high in particular, there was no air conditioning at the house or in the classroom. And this is the land that time forgot. There are still folks that live without air conditioning. But what if I told you there were people who live without doors on their house?
Yeah.
That is real.
Yeah.
You know, it's real. So those are the things I'm trying to tend to. You know, we have a limited amount of time to do things, and there's a lot to do. But, you know, you go all the way from the LSU Arena deal that they're trying to build to the person who's got 8 holes in their roof on Winburn Avenue.
All right, so let's do this. Let's talk about now looking back over what 8 months now or so.
Going on 9.
No, going on 9 months. I want you to tell the viewers out there some things that you're proud of that you've accomplished in this time, and also at the same time, I'm sure when you got into that role with no political experience, you're like, what am I doing? I did not realize the problems were this immense. What were the biggest problems that you faced when you really got behind the desk?
Well, from a problem standpoint, I like to move fast. I'm a coach. I'm a routine guy. And the day, 9 months, I can't believe it's been 9 months. So the days go extremely fast, but government moves so slow. Right. It's amazing. You almost got to give a DNA test to get a cup of coffee. It's brutal. Right. And I don't understand that. I don't understand, hey, you got to go to this board from A to B to C to D. No, if there's a pothole on Highland Road, let's fill it. Okay.
So there's a bureaucratic mess that you're trying to resolve or solve.
That's it. Let's move. I mean, you know, we're knocking down blighted properties. We got one excavator in this town, which is incredible. Just one with 2 men, and the machine breaks, so they need a part. So I'll ask every few days, how many houses, blighted properties do we get down? Well, none, because the machines. Well, what are we doing? Well, we ordered a part. How long is it going to take? 3 weeks? No, somebody here in Baton Rouge has the part, right?
I would imagine. So, our friends at Head and Inquest or someone. I don't know which type of tractor things, but someone we can get a part for.
Right. So it's those things that I'm trying to just take a different, because those are the things that are important to me. I want the big things. Right. But this city needs to function fixing the little things. People want their grass cut. They want a clean city and a safe city. Yeah. And so I am trying, I call it government acceleration. Yeah. I'm trying to accelerate those processes.
I like that. And what I like about that, and I don't know all of your history, but you have a business owner's mind, because when I'm listening to you as a business owner, and I have a law firm and various other businesses, you have to make decisions quickly and move quickly. Right. And bureaucratic strangleholds are what you try to get rid of. So you definitely have that mindset and that vision of treating City Hall more like an efficient business, and that's what you're trying to get to, and that's refreshing.
Yes, that is the goal, and I have good people working with me that have better business minds.
That's
than
what your team around you seems to be in step, and you have a good team. So tell the viewers, just so they all know, who are your key members of your team?
Currently, right now, Charlie Davis is our CAO, and he's a business guy and very political minded, but hadn't actually been in office or anything like that. Monica Peening is an assistant CAO. She's my financial director. Angie Savoy is actually financial director. Monica Peening is the assistant CAO over it. One of the biggest hires I made was former police chief Jeff LaDuff. Right. I created Department of Public Safety, and he's doing real well. William Daniel, an old name from back in the day.
Hadn't seen him in a while.
Yeah, we brought William back.
Good.
And of course, the name Fred Rayford ring a bell?
Yes, it does. I visit with Fred from time to time. Good man.
Yeah, he's 189 years old, and we're excited to have him. He's a library of information. Yeah. And there's many others, but we're excited about the team. And if I could share some of the good things going on.
That's what I want to know. So we talked about the big problem is bureaucratic.
Right.
What some things that you're proud of, you've already accomplished, and some things that you're looking to accomplish?
Well, let's talk about crime.
Right.
And statistics are always they're sketchy sometimes. They're not, it's a hard read. it's hard for our citizens to believe this when you pick up the paper, but crime is down in Baton Rouge, violent crime. We're down. Police Chief T.J. Morse and his crew's done a wonderful job. We're down statistically in every category except domestic violence and burglary.
Okay.
So where we had 7 shootings between Sunday morning and mid-morning, 7 with 2 murdered this weekend. We had went almost 13 days without one.
Right.
You know, every night I used to count touchdowns, now I count bodies, and it's so sad. But our police department, along with some social programs, have done a remarkable job out there. You know, we're 150 officers short. And with that being said, our police department, our sheriff's department are working tirelessly in conjunction with Governor Landry and the FBI. We had a task force this summer in which there were 112 people arrested, many of them gang members. It was a gang takedown. Almost 200 guns taken off the street, tons of drugs and fentanyl. So a very successful summer with that. So the crime piece, where we're not nowhere near where we want to be, and as we're speaking, someone's shooting a gun in Baton Rouge right now. More than a murder problem, we have a bullet problem in Baton Rouge. In Baton Rouge, we shoot people, we shoot stop signs, we shoot cars, we shoot buildings, we just shoot. You know, and some things you can control and some you can't. You know, a domestic violence, murder, suicide in someone's home.
Can't do anything about that.
No social program or no cop
Agreed.
Is going to be able to do it. But we're making some moves, and we're working hard to continue that. We have other ideas and initiatives we're working on.
Well, I want to thank you real quick, and I got more, but trying to address that problem, you know, in my world and in my client's world, and it represents a lot of people from the areas you're talking about, in routinely black, white, rich, poor crime. Number one thing for this community. So I want to applaud you for making it front and center, trying to attack it. You've done some good stuff, but to keep on trying to attack it.
We're going to.
Good.
You know, we're going to keep working.
Thank you.
The Homeless Initiative. A little bit about homelessness in Baton Rouge. We have a great deal, a pretty big homeless population here. The number, I don't know. I've heard anything from 400 to 600, not sure. But we have a young man, Matthew Edwards, and a young lady, Jessica Lewis, who is working on that stuff. So here's the deal. Let's talk panhandling and homeless. That's two different things. Many panhandlers are not homeless. Some are. So on this part, and people may think we're an evil ogre, we don't want people panhandling in Baton Rouge. So when you see someone holding a sign, need food, it is false. There are 43 organizations in Baton Rouge that feed. You can't go hungry in Baton Rouge unless you choose to. We have too many resources. So what we're doing is we have a program where we're sending people out. The Grove, who is a treatment facility, is partnered with us along with others, and we go out and we go talk to the homeless folks, and we give them a chance, because many are drug addicted.
That's what I was asked, is the experience that the panhandlers we see with signs, it's not for food, it's primarily drugs.
They to get a hit. It's for a hit. That's what they're doing. Okay, and we'll go to them and we'll say, hey, we'll take you in, we'll house you, we'll feed you, we'll clothe you, and we'll give you free treatment. Many of them don't want that, but that's an offer. Second phase, well, then you're not going to panhandle in Baton Rouge. Okay, we're not going to be on the streets. It's not safe. It's not safe for that individual, and it's not safe for our citizens. We have a bus ride home for you, a free ticket. Where are you from? You can go panhandle in Albuquerque or wherever you're from, but you can take this. If they don't take that, then we got a legal issue. It is illegal to panhandle. We want to help our homeless. I tell you what, I would put our initiative and what we're doing in Baton Rouge against anyone in the United States of America. The resources and the help we got. We have rehomed people. We have put people, got them housing. We've got them treatment. So I'm very proud of how fast we've made a difference there. So I'm asking the public, don't give money to someone on the street corner. you may think you're helping them, but you're hurting them. You are actually hurting them. And we need to get these people into treatment centers and get them help, which comes to the need. Mr. McKernan, one of my long-range goals is to have a state-of-the-art mental hospital in Baton Rouge.
Right. What I hear from you is you have a heart, and you're
Right.
trying to enact practical measures, enforce the laws that are on the books, and that is loving people when you do it that way. And I'm
It's drug addiction is an illness.
yeah.
Okay, so when you're giving them this money, you're contributing to their illness. And people don't sit. I'm the same way. Now, look, it's hard for me to go by and see these people look terrible sometimes.
Right, yeah.
And it's hard for me not to. I've done it for years. But once I dug in and I've learned the game and I know what's going on, the panhandlers call it flying. So let me give you an example.
Call it what?
Flying.
Flying.
So some of them work in teams. So let's say under the interstate at Segan Lane, they have a point guy. And that point guy, he, for lack of better words, you could say it a pimp. But that guy employs 5 or 6 guys or
Really?
ladies that go out, they fly, and they go get the money. They come at the end of the evening, bring the money to the point guy. Okay? The point guy collects all the money. The drug dealer then shows up with the drugs. He gives that drug dealer the money for the drugs, and then the point guy spreads the drugs out to the rest.
Yeah.
It's organized
Wow.
and strategic.
Well, I think the community needs to know that. We just think
Yes.
it's an individual who's down their luck. They're doing that, but there's this organized crime syndicate of sorts, right,
Yeah.
doing this, and that message needs to get out better. And the
It does.
business owners of Baton Rouge need to push that out so we can help you say no
I
to that.
appreciate it. That would
Yeah.
help. And I don't want to paint a broad spectrum that every panhandler is that.
No, I
I'm
get it.
sure there's some out there that, yeah, they got food or they got something,
Right.
but they just need some bucks.
Wow.
You know, so they're out there, and there are real homeless people. I mean, let's look at the flip side. Here's a stat someone told me. 70% of Baton Rouge is one paycheck away from being homeless. Think about that. Okay?
That's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you look at the Alice score with, the median income in some parts of the city, so we have a heart and we want to help.
Right.
We want to do it the right way.
Yeah. Well, I'm thankful for that. And I know, kind of veering a little bit, but still keeping with this, which will prevent future panhandlers. You have a motto, keep the kids busy, right? Why don't you tell everybody briefly about that and your thought behind that?
With the, are you referring to my program,
Yes.
kids program?
Yes.
Men for Others
Right.
is what we call it. And we kicked it off in late spring, in the summer. And we started with the 10 football playing schools in East Baton Rouge Parish,
Right.
the public schools. And we got their coaches. We paid them a little stipend. I was that coach many years. All coaches got to have a side hustle. It's either cutting grass or painting houses or doing something. And each of those teams, each of those schools did 4 community service projects this summer, which totaled 40.
Right.
They give us some intel because kids talk. Okay, we have the Office of Violence Prevention, Miss Ashla Burgess,
Right.
and a little intel. We need to know when the parties are, what the beefs are. So we kind of got some information that way. Then each school put on at least one free camp for the community.
Right.
So it's a summer initiative that we're going to continue on. And I don't have the stats on how many young athletes have been shot or murdered during the summers, but it happens every summer.
Right.
Did not happen this summer.
That's good. And I know, as for me, a athlete, throughout my life, high school, a little bit of college, and still continuing, how much value that athletics provides for young kids. Individually, you learn so many things: hard work, discipline. If you want to get better, you've got to do these things. And you also, at the same time, learn a community, right? Because you have a locker room full of men or women that you have to learn how to work with towards a common goal. And I can see that in the way you're managing the city hall and living your life.
Yeah, it's idle hands are the devil's workshop.
Yep.
And we try to keep them busy, and we want them to move. But let's say athletics aren't for everyone.
Nope.
So there's so many things, the arts,
That's right.
music, gaming,
Right.
esports.
Right.
There's so many things they
That
could
they
be
can
doing.
do.
But some of them don't have the resources to do it. The kid who's at U High or Catholic High and is a legacy child may need, let's not forget them. They may have their own issues.
Right.
You just don't have to be poor to be hurting. Okay? It's a universal thing throughout our country.
That's right.
In North Baton Rouge, there's not as many resources. And what I mean, when I grew up there, we had a bowling alley, a skating rink, 4 movie theaters, multiple restaurants. The Plank Road corridor was hopping.
It was.
And most of that's gone now. So what are the resources? What do they have to do with their time? So the key is trying to fill those gaps and fill that time with good, wholesome things.
Okay. Let's jump for a sec because we're winding down, but I want the people of Baton Rouge to get to know you a little bit better outside of the mayor, right? So obviously coaching's been a big part of your life. And if you were to describe yourself as a coach, right, and you were to look at a present coach, that's who I thought I was. Kind of give us an idea where you...
I would say, comparing it to a former coach, I would say Bobby Bowden.
So very big heart, right? Christian man, loved his players, passionate, but he took chances. His offensive play calling, he wasn't just about dink and dunk. I mean, he was trying to light it up. So is that you?
Yeah. I am a risk taker.
Okay.
On my own 3-yard line, up 3 with 8 minutes to go, I've gone for it. Sometimes that worked out, sometimes it didn't, right? So you either getting booed out or, God, what that guy is, how correct? Nah, maybe I'm just a fool. I don't know. But I am a risk taker.
Okay.
Calculated.
Right.
Coaching football, my offenses and things I've done, and I got a lot of this from Dale Weiner.
Right.
I learned under Dale.
Great guy.
And Bobby Bowden was a lot like that. Yeah. But also, coaching, I loved winning. Yeah. I hated losing. Yep. But I never was defined by winning. My motto was, it's more than 10 Friday nights. Right. I can't lay my championship rings at the feet of Jesus.
Right.
And that's just how I coach. I want to win. And it serves me well in the mayor's office, because any initiative I take on, I want to win, but I won't be defined if I don't, and there will always be a plan B.
Right. So you've got, let's say there's 4 seconds left on the clock, and you're inside the 10-yard line. So you could be a run play, or could be a pass, or what's the go-to play you have to call? Whose hands are you putting it in? What are you doing?
That's a great question. The answer is this: think players, not plays.
Okay.
Let's go back to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, when they threw
the New England Patriots. And what was the guy's name? You had Beast Mode.
Beast Mode. They should have handed it to him all day long.
Think players, not plays. It's about the Jims and Joes, not the X's and O's.
So if you have a talented running back, you're going to put it in his hands. If you have a quarterback, you're going to put it in his hands.
I'm going to find a way for that individual or one or two individuals to get the ball in their hands.
I like that. Think players, not plays. All right, we've touched on a little bit, but I want to talk about faith and family, and how that guides your life daily, outside of City Hall, and then how it does it inside City Hall.
Well, God has done me many favors, and I have married my wife Beanie. We've been married a long. I can't say the years. She's gonna watch this. She's a retired teacher in education, and I have 4 children: Cody, Delaney. Then my 2 youngest, Chase and Jack Ryan, 34 and 24 respectively, have autism. They're autistic children, and that is the gift that God gave me, because when you raise autistic children, and God bless my wife and the 2 older siblings who helped, it's a whole new perspective on life. I got a 34 and a 24-year-old at home that Santa Claus still comes. They'll always be with me. They can't spell cat, but they're beautiful young men. And it was just perspective that they were put in my life, they made me a better man, they made me a better coach,
Right.
and they're going to make me a better mayor. Because in all the things we have in this world, and all the problems we got, and all the hate and the angst,
Right.
it never touches them.
Okay.
And I spent a great deal of my life early when they were diagnosed with trying to find a cure, trying
Right.
to make them better, trying to get them. I wanted them to play ball. I wanted them to marry. I wanted them to drive a car. And at some point in my life, I realized that in many ways, their world is much more beautiful than mine. And that's when I decided to enter into their world.
Right.
So when I'm with them, I go into their world. And it just, from a perspective, point, it just made me better as a human.
Well, that's a unique perspective, and I compliment you on that perspective. Not
Thank
everybody
you.
can have that type perspective. How does your wife, Maureen Beanie, fit into juggling the household and now you as the mayor, right? And compared to the old days of coaching, is it harder for her now, or she loved Friday nights and she'd rather do that?
Well, let me say this. Politicians lie, I found. So I don't consider myself a politician, but on the night of the election when we won, we were riding home, and I said, Beanie, here's the good news. All these years of these late coaching hours and me getting in late, I'll be getting home earlier.
Right.
I lied to her. The hours are worse, but she's a rock star.
Yeah.
I mean, she held a full-time job, raising a family with 2 special needs kids, while I was able to do what I loved, and that was coach. So she is absolutely, when I told her I was going to run for mayor, like I told you, she thought I was insane, but she likes it. She's a part, she's getting involved with some of my initiatives. Kelly LaDuff heads my OCD department, and she's kind of partnered with him on some of the blight in Baton Rouge. So she's enjoying it.
Well, that's great. When you're not having to run government, and you just want to relax, or you want to go do something, what outlets do you have? Where do you go?
None. It's kind of like when I coached with the 2 autistic boys, and when I was my coaching career, people asked me, "What's your hobbies?" Well, work was my hobby. I loved going to work, so that was my enjoyment. But I really don't have time to hunt, fish, golf. I haven't been on vacation in 30 years. I send the kids. I stay home with the youngest, and Beanie will go maybe to the beach. But we never had the resources or the time to do those type things. So I'm either working or I'm tending to my boys.
Well, somewhere you're getting restoration and refreshment, right? Is it through your faith, where your quiet time? Is it reading? I mean, what re-energizes you?
Mainly my faith. And then late at night, when the boys go to bed, I can be a little alone time with just me, sometimes me and God. And it's funny, I have detail now that drives me places, which I'm still getting used to it. I got some great guys. But when I get in that vehicle, it's like, I used to tell it, Mr. McKernan, when I put the headset on Friday night, autism and problems and issues all went away.
That's right.
When I get in that Tahoe,
it comes
it's
back.
my only little quiet time that I can think.
We all have to have that. For me, if I have a fly rod in my hand, you can't catch a fish while you're on a conference call. It's really hard. So you got to do that. So we all need that time. So I am glad that you find it somewhere. I know it's very challenging. Real quickly, quick vision, next 5 years, what do you hope to see in Baton Rouge and your legacy?
We want a cleaner, safer city. We want to partner with the school system, the public school system here in Baton Rouge, and raise the bar. Lamont Cole's our superintendent. He's doing a good job. Those are the basics. Economic development. If people are shooting each other and killing each other and the city's dirty, it's not going to develop. So I feel if I can help improve that, it's going to help us with economic development. And on November 15th, something big's happening. I have a Thrive campaign, and just a quick, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it today, we're asking the voters to vote yes on 3 propositions. Basically, it's just a rededication of already taxed money. It's a renewal.
Right.
It's not a new tax. And I'm in a rare spot. I've got most of the mayors in the parish on board. I think they're all on board.
Right.
3 of the 4. I just haven't met the 4th one yet.
Okay.
All 12 council people are on board. The mosquito abatement, council on aging, and library are the 3 entities that we're going to rededicate money from. They're on board. And, it's crazy when you got everyone on the same page and there's still, which is rare in any government. We're all on the same page. And there's a chance because it comes down to the voters.
Right. Where is the headwind coming from, if there is headwind? Where?
I think right now it's a misunderstanding and not enough knowledge on it. So we're going to work very hard from now till election day, educating the public and letting them know what it really is, and what it means if it passes, and what it means if it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, that's important. You're presenting your case. Myself as a lawyer,
there it is.
You got to present a case to a jury. The community is your jury, so you have to be up front, as we talked about just a little while ago, and let them know. So
that's right. We plan on doing it.
Well, good. So that vote will be in this November.
November 5th.
And I want to thank you for your sacrifice, right?
Well,
both as a coach for all those years. That truly is a sacrifice. I'm sure there are many other things you could have done with your life, and then a further sacrifice now in public service, because I know you're doing it from your heart for the good of the kids and the community. So I want to thank you for that, and thank you for taking the time to come here this morning.
My honor, and I want to thank you. I think the general public knows we need more Gordon McKernans.
I'm not sure they think that
in our parish.
Right.
Well, I do.
Well, I appreciate that.
There's the thing. Sure, there's the big deal when you're dealing with an NIL deal with Garrett Nussmeyer, whomever. That you see that. Right. But I also want you to know that I see the little things you do,
thank you,
which are very important. So God bless.
Well, thank you, and God bless you, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right. That's another episode of the Garage Podcast. Had the privilege to visit with the Mayor of Baton Rouge this morning. God bless. All right. We good?